Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Gordon, the regular host of Life or Die, and once again I'm joined by Craig for some epic here. How you doing, Craig?
Yeah, good, thanks. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. So yeah, we're doing something different, which is very exciting. Because we've been stuck in the past for, well, decades really. Since 2nd edition, we've been more or less playing some version of 2nd edition for the past 30 years. Now we're trying Legion's Imperialis. So I'll let you talk about it, Craig, because it's...
Yeah, sure thing. Well, I mean, it's the new epic scale game from Games Workshop. It's very much an homage to 2nd edition, if not, let's just call it 2.5 edition, I don't know. They kind of diverged from what they were doing with Epic 40k and Armageddon, and went back to a very similar game to 2nd edition, so it suits us down to a T really, in terms of kind of knowing the rules off the bat. For the most part, they've also made a lot of changes which on paper and from what we've seen so far from other battle reports look like they're going to be good changes. They're kind of, they've streamlined a lot of the objective taking, the movement, the shooting, just ever so slightly abstracted it, which is actually quite handy for speeding up gameplay and simplifying things, so we're quite keen on trying that out. There's also a lot of stuff in it which seems to be at the moment a little bit funny in terms of special rules and the naming of rules conflicting with other game systems and things like that might get ironed out in the future, as well as some of the unit stats being a little bit maybe not conducive to what you'd think. So these guys are the Solar Auxilia, which are effectively the 30k Imperial Guard, but they're actually very powerful. You can see I've got quite a small force compared to Gordon's Marine force, and that's because a lot of the units are more expensive and generally just better, like in close combat or long range firepower. So yeah, it'll be interesting. We're going to play this game vanilla, more or less out of the box. This is what comes in the starter set. I've been quite frugal with my starter set and put my Marines 3 to a base, so you actually get double the amount of troops. So you get 2 companies of Marines or 2 formations of Marines for the price of 1 there, which is, I think, it's quite snazzy. But yeah, it just shows you. These are even points values as well, so it just shows you what you can get for the Marines compared to them, compared to the Solar Auxilia. So yeah, I'm going in with an open mind and looking forward to playing. I know we'll probably get some rules wrong, just because we've got 30 years of ingrained 2nd edition in our heads. Also, the rules are a little bit kind of all over the place in terms of where to find things, and special rules, like I say, for each unit and for each weapon type can be a wee bit confusing. But yeah, the plan potentially in the future is to take some of these core rules and maybe put them into our games of Net Epic and do some house rules in Net Epic, because I think although this has been great fun to get this box, something new and exciting, get it painted up, and the models are beautifully sculpted, they're a bit of a pain to put together. They're expensive as well. I can't see myself going too far into depth-wise in terms of buying too many more models. I've got a few things on order, in back order from before Christmas, but sold out, Bane Blades and Rhinos and stuff, as well as a few Knights and Titans that I still need to paint up. But yeah, I can't foresee us going all in on this for the sake of our bank accounts and sanity in terms of modelling. So yeah, I think what the plan might be is to either just use our Net Epic units and costings and everything and bring them into the game, or there's already some fan-made supplements out there for the other factions, and that would allow us to use our existing armies. So yeah, that's the plan so far, but we're going to give it a good old try as vanilla as possible and really try and get to grips with the differences and work out what we like and what we don't like, and then we'll have a wee chat about it afterwards.
Yeah, and it's literally our first game, so yeah, please be forgiven with us when we mess up things, which we inevitably will. I'll be totally out of my depth because I haven't read the rules, so I'll be fumbling in the dark. I've thumbed through it. I'm relying on a lot of stuff I've read online in battle reports, so yeah, if someone else has made a mistake, I'll probably make the same one now. But yeah, just another note as well, like I say, this is 570 points. The recommended game size is around 3,000. And it's just too big. I mean, from what I've seen so far on the battle reports, up to about 1,500 points is a big game. That's like an old 3,000, or not even, maybe a 4,000 point of 2nd edition equivalency, I think. And especially with all these extra minutiae rules added in for the units, I think a 3,000 point game would be a bit of a slog. But
I'll reserve judgment.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, let's just go for it. Okay, so this is 570-ish points of Marines. So we're running them as Raven Guard today, so they get the infiltrate rule, which is one of the kind of more powerful Legion rules. We've got two demi companies, essentially, almost exactly the same. So in the first one, we've got a squad of tactical Marines with 2 missile launcher support Marines, and they've got the engine commander with them. And then there's a second squad of tactical Marines with the 2 missile launchers with them support. We've got a unit of Contemptor Dreadnoughts and a unit of Predators. And then for the second formation, it's the same again with the company commander attached to a tactical squad. And they've got plasma gun support, another tactical squad with plasma gun support, 2 Sicarians, and the assault Marine squad. And that's all we've got today for the Marines. Okay, so this is 570-ish points of Solar Auxilia, so it's just a single formation. In the front we've got the Legate Commander, who commands the whole force, so he's obviously very important in terms of being able to give out orders. We've got the 2 Lasgun Tertios, and they've also got 2 Flamer units attached to each one. We've got the Sharonite Ogrins in support, and we've got the Velitarius Storm Squad, who are the Axemen in support as well. The Vanguard unit is the Sentinels, Armoured Sentinels, and then we've got a unit of Lemon Russ and a unit of Malcadors. And that's all we get for 570 points of the Solar Auxilia. So here we are, just a little overview of the battlefield and the objectives we've got today for our first game of Legion Imperialis. So the objective we've rolled up is called Devastation, and essentially there are 6 objective markers. There's 2 in my deployment zone, 2 in the middle and 2 in Gordon's. The ones in the middle are worth 3 VPs each, the ones in your own deployment zone are worth 5 VPs each. And the ones in your opponent's zone are worth nothing to you, but you can capture them and destroy them and deny them the points. And you also get 10 victory points for destroying them both. Yep. So yeah, it makes it should be quite an interesting one. It's kind of similar to the base game, you know, what we're used to, but there's a little bit more tactical nuance to it, I think. So victory points are cumulative in this game, as opposed to Net Epic, where you kind of total them up at the end of each turn. So yeah, you can get kind of runaways, I think, in it. So we'll need to be keeping an eye on that and making sure we're holding each other back. There's also secondary objectives in this game that you roll up for. You roll them up in sort of semi-secret and then declare them to your opponent. So I have rolled up Plant the Standard, which essentially gives one of my units, in this case my little Vanguard Sentinels here, a battle standard to plant, which takes the form of another objective marker which I can place in my enemy's deployment zone for extra victory points, and if it's worth more if it's uncontested, and it's worth more if I actually get to plant it as well, which is good. Gordon, you've got Control the Battlefield, which is effectively table quarters. So for each table quarter at the end of the game that you have higher tactical strength in, which is each unit has an assigned tactical strength. Obviously, infantry is worth a lot more than tanks, and titans are worth nothing. You get victory points depending on how many quarters you control, so it's quite a simple one. Some of the second objectives are quite convoluted, but I think we've actually managed to roll up to the simpler ones. So,
yeah, we did genuinely roll them.
we did.
It wasn't just because this suits us easier.
Yeah, exactly. But it does certainly. It's going to be extra stuff to keep in my brain, which is just after New Year's Eve and all that kind of stuff. It could be difficult. So we'll see how we get on. So we're looking at forces now and the deployment.
Yeah. So this is a squad of tacticals with 2 plasma guns in there. They were close enough to actually start garrisoned, so they start in the building. I've got another unit behind there, which is another tactical unit with some Devastators.
Yep.
I've then got the Sicarians. I've got my 4 assault guys here. Sorry, Craig, this is behind the building.
No, you're fine.
Behind the building, I've got another tacticals with plasma guns. Then back over this side, I've got another tacticals with 2 Devastators.
Yep.
And I've got my Dreadnoughts, which are a kind of combination. So the ones with the single weapon, they are assault cannon, and then the ones with the double barrel are twin-linked las cannon.
Yep. And
finally my 3 Predators, which have Predator las cannon and Sponson mounted las cannon.
Yes, I tried to keep things simple.
Sorry, little footnote about the Sicarians. They are carrying an Omega plasma array, hull mounted heavy bolter, and Sponson mounted heavy bolters. So
lovely. All bolters. Yeah, absolutely.
My battle plan, because I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm going to play fairly defensively, I think, today.
Sure.
So I'm not really planning too many incursions into Craig's side of the board. I really want to hold. I'm desperate to defend these two because that's too big a loss if I lose any of either. If Craig's able to destroy either of these, so defending these is everything to me at the moment. I expect I'll probably move the Predators up onto the bridge. That because I get some bonuses for cover saves, and also it's harder to hit when they're on there.
Sure.
Also, the Dreadnought's probably pushing up the same way. The Devastators are probably going to be sitting back, hopefully shooting anything that thinks are coming into my half of the board, and then we'll see what happens with the tacticals. I'm hoping we might be able to take on some Imperial Guard, but I'm extremely cautious of I know that they're pretty good in close combat, and I'm a bit concerned about that. But yeah, and there's Sicarians obviously move up a bit, and hopefully at least steal Objective E. That would be nice.
the way they're loaded is quite kind of close range, so you might need to get them forward to do the damage, but I'm quite scared of them.
Good. I like to hear that.
So on my side, I've got my Lemon Russ Strike Squadron on the right hand flank now. They've all just been given, well, despite the way they're modelled, I've just given them all the basic battle cannons and the basic las-guns. Now I know that the Vanquisher battle cannon has a objectively better, it's a better weapon, but in purely anti-infantry role, these are probably the way to go. So stick with them. I've got a lasgun tertio with 2 flamers garrisoned in this building, and they're just going to probably hold up there for the rest of the game if they can survive. I've got my Malkador squadron here now. Again, they're not quite armed as seen. So what we've got, I've given them both the lasgun turret, the lasgun sponsons, and the demolisher front hull mounted guns. So if anyone gets stuck in a building, they might be able to dig them out. In front of the Malkadors, I've got the Velataris Storm Squadron, so they're the power axe wielding guys that are going to hopefully carve up some Marines. In front of them, I've Vanguard or forward deployed my heavy Sentinels. So these are the ones that've got the standard objectives, so hopefully keep them alive long enough to get into Gordon's deployment zone. And then garrison this building, I've got the commander and his tertio of lasguns and flamer guys just garrisoning here. So again, he's got this 10-inch command rule, so I can give orders as needed. And far left flank on their own, these Chariot Ogrins, who are scary guys, but I've kind of left them to their own devices, so they might be a little bit unsupported, but we'll see how far they get, if they can get into close combat and do their thing. So my battle plan, I kind of covered it briefly in deployment, but I'll go a bit more detail. Lemon Russ are going to advance up to meet these Predators and Dreadnoughts head on and hopefully clear them out, because I've got my Vanguard Sentinels who are holding this extra objective, the Plant Standard. I need to come in behind them and hopefully claim that objective. I've got my lasgun tertios, both of them are just holding these backline objectives, and I don't foresee them moving much in this game. I've got my Storm Velataris guys who need to get into close combat. They're foot slogging though, so it might take them a little while. The Malkadors are medium range, short range loadouts, so I really want to get them up the field as well and use the demolisher cannons to maybe bring down some buildings, which would be nice. And then the Ogrins are just going to march forward and hopefully get into close combat with something before they die. Okay, so we've just interrupted the end of the movement phase. So Gordon's marched his Sicarians up, and they're within point defence range of the Ogrins, and rules being as they are, you get to fire.
Yeah, so I've got each one of these has a hull mounted heavy bolter, which is 2 dice, 5 or 6 0 modifier, and very handily they also got the sponson mounted heavy bolters, yep, which are 2 dice, 5 or 6 0 modifier. So I basically get 8 dice, 5 or 6 is 0 modifier.
Alright.
5 or 6 is a hit. Ooh, 2.
So 6 is to save, no modifier, you said?
0 modifier.
Nope. 2 dead.
2 dead, okay. New pick.
I'll take these 2. And now I need to do an immediate morale test on them as well, which I believe will be a 4+. He's fine.
Well done.
So this is us at the end of the turn 1 movement, and everything's been fairly aggressive, charging up here or advancing up. So on my left hand flank here, Gordon, you've taken control of that building.
Yep, I've garrisoned it.
Yep, you garrisoned it with your
tacticals. And plasma guns, I think. And then the back building I've advanced in because I've got a couple of Devastators here who hopefully do some shooting later.
Sure thing. And we've already seen the results of the Sicarians taking on the Ogrins in point defence, and that went pretty well for them, I think. Although there's still definitely a threat there from these Ogrins. Now the Ogrins are going to contest this objective with the other squad of tactical marines here with plasma guns.
Yeah, they've marched as well, so we're all marching.
Yeah, so I think it's going to get quite bloody in the middle there. Your back line, you just kept these marines with the missile launchers.
Yeah, I had to advance into the building,
so
I don't have first fire on them.
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, good lines of sight. Big, bold boys though. Your assault marines have absolutely launched themselves right into the middle of the battlefield and garrisoned this building.
I should mention that I won the initiative, that's how I was able to do that, because I knew these guys were going to...
That's right.
Because you reveal all the orders, and I knew they were going to do that, so I was deliberately trying to stop that happening.
Exactly. So yeah, my storm squad came forward to meet them, and I've had to keep them just an inch back because they're on march orders rather than charge. So they'll hopefully get into some bloody action next turn. In terms of my backline, I've just kept my tertios as expected on first fire orders, and I wasn't actually expecting to get any shots off, but I think Gordon's very nicely presented me with these assault marines which are in range, so we'll get some shots. Malcadors have kind of rumbled forward, and they've got a target-rich environment ahead of them, which is looking good for them. The battle for the bridge on the right-hand side here, you've got your Predators and your Contemptor Dreadnoughts are pushing forward over them, and I've met them with my equivalent Layman Russ and Sentinels, so this could be an interesting matchup here. And that's it. Yeah, not too much to move, thankfully, with the low model count, but yeah, it's going to be a bloody one, I think. Okay, it's just me for first fire, so I've got the Tertio with the commander here, and they're going to fire into the building with the assault marines in it, so I'm hitting on 6s. I've got 4 las rifles and 2 Volkite chargers that are in range, so I'll give that a go. Okay, and the Volkite charger hits, and I get an extra roll for Deflagrate, and that's not. So it's just 1 hit. So you're going to get 1 save of 4+ for the cover save. Good.
And I get it,
And my second first fire is going to be exactly the same again. Try again at these guys with the same dice. Just 1 hit again. I'm looking for a 4+ from you.
Not that time.
Excellent.
First casualty.
First of yours.
Into advance fire then, and there was no close combat. So my 3 Predators, because it's more abstracted than the Epic was, I can fire at your 3 Layman Russ. And I get Predator Las Cannon, which is 1 dice, 4 or more to hit, -1 save modifier, anti-tank, and accurate, so that's going to be my red dice.
Yep, so you'll reroll misses.
So I can reroll any misses, and the purple ones are also 4+, -1, but I don't reroll them. So let's see what I get.
Sounds good.
So that's 3 hits, in fact 4 hits. That is because it's 4 pluses. Oof! 6
hits.
6 hits at -1.
-1, so the Layman Russ are 2 up save in this game, which is good at least, but still pretty nasty. So. All good?
-1.
Oh, right. No, you're right. 2 are not good. 2 deaths. Wow, okay, and that'll be a morale test as well for these guys. Oh, goodness. And they fail it, so they are on fallback orders. Wow. Take 2 away. And I'll replace that with a fallback. Okay, time for the Empire to strike back here, and we've got our Malcadors are going to drop everything into this tactical squad here. So we've got 6 las guns or las cannon shots and 2 demolisher cannon shots going into this squad of infantry in the middle here. So we're looking for force for everything. Gold dice are the demolishers, they're the ones that really count. And we've got 1 demolisher and 2 las cannons. So the las cannon saves are made at no AP, and the demolisher will be -3. So 1 guy just gets wiped out straight off the bat, and then you've got 2 saves.
2 saves.
6 saves.
Alright, 5+. 1 save, so 2 guys die?
Yep, that's it.
Just want to lose because the plasma guns are better, aren't they?
Yeah, you just want your bog standard tacticals to come out, I think.
So I'm going to fire my tactical unit here, which has Devastators. The tactical guys themselves are out of range for anything, but the Devastators do have range to these Ogrines.
Yep.
And it's 4 pluses to hit, and there will be a 0 modifier, so let's see what I get.
Oh, just the one.
Just the one, yeah.
Okay, 0 modifier, so I'm looking for a 6 save. No, another one dead. Still one remains. Sorry, just had a wee rules check there. So, because these Ogrins lost the first 2 in the movement phase to point defence, you can't take another morale test in the same phase, but now that we're into the advanced fire phase, they've taken another casualty, so I think that means we get another morale check. And they're fine. But still, good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, over to me, and I'm going to use my Sentinels now on the advanced fire, so they're going to fire into their Dreadnought counterparts on the bridge here. So I've got 4 missile shots with -1 modifier, and then 8 multi-laser shots with no modifier. And these will be all -1 because you're in cover.
Because I'm in cover. So that was one of the things we talked about before the game. If we're on the bridge section, not the ramps, you get a -1 to do.
Yeah, it's obstructing cover, it's called in the game, so it should be all good. So looking for 5s in the blue, green dice, 6s on the blue dice.
Wow.
Yeah, not bad. So
pretty good.
Two shots with a -1 modifier and 2 with no modifier.
Red dice are -1, so I'm going to need 5s with them, and I need 4s with the blue dice.
Yeah, 2 dead.
Yeah, 2 dead.
2's fine. So now you get to do a morale test as well.
I do. Okay, we'll do that.
The Marines one's obviously a bit higher.
So 3+. No, then I'll fall back.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to fire again. My tacticals, no use. There's nothing close for the bolters as usual, but the Devastators do just have range to these Malcadors.
Yeah.
Now, because I'm firing them at tanks, instead of getting 2 dice, I only get 1 dice. 4 and what hit, -1.
1 hit.
1 hit, -1.
-1, I think he's got a good save as well. 3+, but they do have 2 wounds, so that's interesting. Oh, so I'll take a wound. So we're in the end phase of the first turn. We've both got models which have given fallback orders, so your Dreadnoughts have fallen back.
Yeah, and they have a morale value of 3+.
Sure thing, so let's see if they're back in the game.
No.
So they stay on fallback orders this next turn. I've got the same here, my Leman Russ have moved back, double their movement back to the baseline, and we're looking for a 4+ for them, which they get. Yep, so they're good. They're back in the game. So in terms of casualties, on my side, we've got the 2 Leman Russ and the Sharonate Ogrins. So my break point for the formation is 15, so we're a ways off yet, so nothing to worry about really. I say. Gordon, for your formations, you've got 2 casualties in terms of the Contemptor Dreadnoughts from one of the formations and 3 from the other formation with the Assault Marine stand. 2 tacticals, so yeah, again, you're absolutely fine for the moment. Okay, end of turn 1, and it's been a fairly bloody one, but we've ended up matched on points, so we've both taken one of these centre objectives each. So although I've got a unit of Ogrins contesting it, Gordon's got more than double the tactical strength there with these 3 stands. They're within range, so he's got that one, I've got this one with the Sentinels, and then we're both holding our backline objectives for 5 victory points each.
Yep.
So yep, all to play for as we go into turn 2.
Yeah, 13 each, which is nice and close.
Okay, so we're at the top of the turn 2 movement now, and there's not been a huge amount of progress made. Gordon has marched his tactical marines out of this building here, and they're now coming along the bridge to threaten this objective at the back line here. There's something I think we're both quite enjoying, is the ability to triple movement infantry.
Yeah.
It really makes them a lot more dynamic, and we can get them quite far up the board quite quickly, so that's quite cool. You've also charged my Ogrins here across the ford, which is going to be potentially a nasty day for them, and I've charged your assault marines inside of this building with my Velatar storm guys, so the firemen with their axes are going to be clambering up the stairs shortly to smack them. Other than that, just my Leman Russ that rallied have advanced forward a bit, so they might get some shots on these predators. And the Malcador, sorry, they moved up a little bit up into the middle here to maybe bring down some buildings, potentially. See how it goes, but we're on to first fire now.
Okay, so first fire, I want initiative again, so I'm going to fire my Predators, and they're going to target your Sentinels there. So again, it's 6 dice, 4 or more to hit. The red dice are the accurate ones, so I can re-roll them if they miss. 4 or more. Very good. I'll get one reroll. It doesn't improve it.
No, so is that a 4?
5.
5, sorry, geez. -1. We've got a 4 plus save normally, so it's going up to a 5. Saves a 5. No, 3 are
gone.
dead, so that's going to force a morale test as well. They're okay. But decimated, yeah. That's in terms of first fire, I've not really got too much, so I'll use my Sentinel as he stands to retaliate against these predators. 2 dice hitting on 6s with no AP, and then 1 dice hitting on 5 with a -1. 1 hit with no AP on it. So
okay, 3 plus save.
6 save. Oh, excellent. Okay, I'm going.
I'll just take the back one off, because I choose enemy.
Yep, that's right.
If I'm 2 Devastator guys again at your 2 tanks,
yep.
The tacticals again aren't in range, so I can't do it. So a dice for each, 4 pluses to hit. 1 hit.
That's a -1.
-1, yeah.
So 4 plus to save. He's good. Okay, it's back to me. So these Marines are advancing on my position and my objective here. So I've got my laser tertial, las rifle tertial, and the commander with the Volkite charge are going to fire into these guys. So they're hitting on 6s. The gold dice have the deflagrate rule, and just a 1 hit.
Okay, 5 plus save. 1. And the other Devastators are going to do the same treatment here. 4 pluses to hit. 1.
-1, so 4 to save. Yep, and he's good.
Okay, my Sicarans in, again going after these tanks, see if I can have any more success. It's 1 dice each, 4 plus to hit. They've got the short range weapons, but I can't use them because they're engaged in combat, and it's -2 modifier, which is quite good. So. And these are also accurate, so I didn't want to read
it. Okay. Did you say -2?
-2, yeah.
5s then.
Oh!
5 and 6.
Bit of an error. We should have done this during the movement phase. I should have snap fired with the first fire, so I get a -1 to hit.
Yeah, -2 to hit.
-2 to hit, but it doesn't go beyond 6.
That's
it's
right.
normally 5 plus to hit with the bolt pistols. So 6s.
Get 1.
Get 1.
Okay, and that'll be a 6 plus. No. So 1 stand dies. It's not bad. Even odds now. Well, certainly not even odds, but even stands at least. Right, so a big fight in the middle here. We've got this lone stand of Ogrins against this tactical squad here. So we can fight our way around. So your tactical Marines are what? +1 for charging and +2 calf.
+2 calf, yeah. So
Okay.
+3 overall.
Yep. So,
and you're +3, but you get 3 dice. Is that right?
That's right. Yep. For this one, yep. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, got you there. So we could choose to fight with your commander who gets a +4 calf, is he?
Yeah, but
or do you rather go with the shots in first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to be sure.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So we'll go for the other tactical squad.
So it's even odds basically here.
Yep. Do the maths. 5.
It's a standoff.
Standoff, yep, sure is.
Yeah.
Excellent. So the commander now.
So the commander, he's got a calf of +4, which means I've got +2 over you overall, and I've got an extra dice as well. So 4 dice +2 versus 3 dice.
Okay. Oh, definitely got him.
At last.
Well done.
Yeah, it was.
Can't see on hand. Excellent, well done. Cool. Right, so the next combat we've got even 3 stands against 3 stands of the Velataris Storm Squad versus the Assault Marines. So Gordon, you're +3 calf normally. You're in a building which gives you +2, so you're +5 calf.
Yep.
I get +1 calf, +1 for charging, so I'm +2. But I also get 3d6.
Okay,
so you're at a +3.
2 dice +3 versus 3d6.
Yep. So that's
9.
7.
You
got you.
Well, no, hang on, I've got +3.
+3.
So I've got 12.
And I'm 11.
11.
Yep,
Yeah,
so
so
you got me.
I win that one.
And the next one. Oh, nasty.
You're dead. +3, 14.
Wow. Right, these guys were good. Last one. That's better. So
yeah, you win that one.
by
13
2,
versus 11. Yeah.
But I have lost combat overall, which means I need to do a morale test and a withdrawal. potentially. Yeah, because it's down to wounds taken. So I roll 2d6 and pick the lowest, and that's my morale check. I'll be able to use his, the commander's morale because I'm within 10 of him. So that's both 4s, that's both fine. But they do withdraw, don't they? Still. Oh no, it's only if it's failed the detachment withdraws. So they're actually fine, they just stay engaged. Right, advanced fire stage. So yeah, Malkador's got a lot of decisions to make here. I'm out of range of the buildings, so I'm not going to be able to bring anything down there. I was debating the Sicarians, but I think I'll go for the guys in the ford instead. So I've got 6 lash shots and 2 demolisher cannon shots going into them. The demolisher cannons on the green, everything's hitting on 4s. Right, 1 demolisher hits, and you get 4 lasgun saves, and the demolisher one is an insta-death for somebody.
So 5 pluses.
Or 18, yeah, that's 5 pluses.
2 saves, that is, so 2 dead, so 1's left.
No, because the 1's demolisher as well. So they've actually dead, so they're all dead. Okay.
So all 3 dead.
Right, back to my advanced fire. So I've got the Lehman Russ here, just 2 of them left. Going to fire into these predators. So they've got the battle cannons and las cannons. They're both normally 4s to hit, but in this case, because they're on the bridge, you're going to get the cover, so you're going to get 5s to hit. So for 5s, nothing.
Oof, I'm okay.
Okay, so casualties for the end of turn 2. Now I've managed to break Gordon's detachment here with the assault marines and the plasma gunners in it. So they went onto broken status, but your other one's still holding strong. Still got 7 left to go there. For me, wiped out the Ogrins, did most of the Velataris, and then obviously we've got the Sentinels and Laveners from the last turn as well. So you're actually quite close to breaking my formation. I think you only need to get 2 more to kill it.
So I'm doing a morale check for these dreadnoughts. 3 plus 5.
Yep, so
they're back in the game.
So, end of turn 2, and there's been more casualties on both sides. As mentioned, we've broken one of Gordon's detachments here, so I've put down broke his status next to him just to remind us, because we'll probably forget otherwise. It's not quite as life affirming as it was in 2nd edition here. If you're broken, you effectively can only be issued with advance or charge orders, and you're -1 to any further morale checks. So it's not game ending by any means, but we'll see.
I suppose the thing that I find strangest about that is that I'm not forced to do morale checks at the moment. That's like obviously every detachment within your company would have been forced to do that under 2nd. But
yeah, I think because they're putting morale checks in more frequently when the detachments themselves are reduced to half, it would obviously be overkill to do it otherwise. But yeah, I think this has been a kind of common, not complaint, but a common observation of the community so far, is that there's quite a few, there's different morale for shooting, there's different morale for charging or for combat, and then there's different morale when you're just broken formation. So it's a wee bit taking used to, I think.
Yeah, and also these guys, because they lost, they were at half strength, which would mean normally they would be rolling a morale check, but because they won the close combat, they didn't have to. Which is
well, that's how we've understood it so far. We could be wrong on that, but
yeah, let us know in the comments.
Exactly,
please.
Yeah, all those LI veterans out there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out how that works, because it feels a wee bit clunky at the moment, but maybe it's just getting used to.
So I was getting used to it.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of what happened at the end of that turn, objectives wise, we're both the same, aren't we? Yeah,
we are exactly the same, but you were only about half an inch out from taking this off of me.
Yes.
Because you cleared off all those guys.
Yep.
So again, it's 10 points each for the deep ones of their own deployment zones. You get 3 for that, I get 3 for that, so it's another 13 each. So we're still level 26 points each. So still all to play for.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're interrupting the movement phase here. So Gordon has charged his tactical squad of marines into my las rifle tercio and the commander in this building here. Left with little options because of being broken, of course. So I'm going to shoot them on the way in with my las rifles, flamers, and the Volkite chargers and archetype pistols. So he's got a fair few shots coming into him. Basically everything's sitting on 6s. The green one will have Death Ligger 8, which means I get to roll an extra hit if I make a hit, and the gold one will be rerollable with accuracy. Gold one to reroll, or nothing. Oh,
jeez.
Absolutely nothing.
Unlucky.
So this is us at the end of the movement phase, so we're both thinning on numbers now, and most stuff was left on first fire. So what have you got? You've got your...
Yeah, I've got the tacticals with the Devastator guys in both these buildings. They've just stayed exactly where they are, first fire. You've moved up your...
Yeah, so the Malcadors took the objective on the fjord here, but it was a bit of a contentious one. I still don't know if they're going to survive these volleys of shots and then missile launchers. I might be able to get some demolisher shots off, but I'm slightly worried because...
Yeah, I moved on to the board with the Sicarans. So yeah, they're going to get that cover bonus as well, which is quite handy.
Get some rear shots on my Malcadors as well, so they'll get an extra -1 to their save modifier. Yep, as we just saw, I fluffed my Overwatch roll against these TAC Marines coming in, so they are now engaged, but it's still fairly even odds, I think, in terms of close combat. These guys remained engaged from last turn, so they'll be fighting to the death. The Sentinel stayed on first fire, as did my Layman Russ, but the bold lads in this building have decided to march out to try and cross this bridge if I can clear it, and then hopefully, because we've got a couple of turns left, I might be able to see if they can get as far as that objective there. But they'll be out of command now for the next turn is the only issue, so we'll only be able to order them with advance orders, so that might put pains to any thoughts of getting to that objective, but still.
Yeah, you've got to get by my Predators first, and my because they passed the Dreadnoughts, they passed their morale check, they've advanced up on it. They don't get the cover because they're not in the main body of the bridge, but hopefully they might be able to. Now, you might want to pick them off first as well, of course. We'll see what happens there.
Yep, so let's go into first fire and then see how it all pans out. I won the initiative this turn, so I'm going to use my last little Sentinel here to take some shots at these Dreadnoughts in the open there. So hitting 5s with multi-laser and 4s with the missile launcher. 1 missile launcher, 1 multi-laser. So the multi-laser's no AP, the missile launcher's -1.
Okay, we'll do the -1 first. Sure. So Dreadnoughts are 4+, so 5+ saved, and 4+ saved.
Yeah, nicely done.
My Predators will fire before they get shot at. They're going to fire at your what are they?
Las Rifle, Tertio, Guardsman by
Guardsman, fire at your guard. So it's 4 dice. The red dice are the ones with accurate, which I can reroll, and the greens are not. So 4 pluses. The 2 that can hit have hit, the other 2 don't. So
that's perfect. So I just removed a couple of basic lads. Right, so back to me, the 2 Layman Russ. I'm going to fire at the 2 Predators, so it's everything sitting on 5s with -1 CAF, or -1 TSM. Just the 1 hit.
Okay, so -1. Predators are 3+, so 4+. 5. Jammy. Fire this Devastators again. 2 dice, 2 attack dice, 4 pluses, -1.
But you might as well just do the same again with this other squad if you want.
Yeah, because I've done all your first.
I've done all my first fires,
Cool. Same deal. 4 pluses. 2 hits.
Centaur, okay. -1s. So looking for 4s. 1 goes through. Does it have to go into the one that's already wounded? That's the question. I think it might do. Yep, so as suspected, you have to allocate any additional wounds to a wounded unit first when fired upon. So this guy is dead now, and that forces a morale test. Just do here for quickness. He's fine. But I am now broken. The formation is now broken, so I am now, advance and charge orders only for the rest of my units, and -1 to morale for the rest of the game. Excellent. Excellent. Back into these guys that want to kill each other. So we've got two Assault Marines, your +5 with your +3 CAF and your +2 for the building, so +4 overall to my +1.
Yeah.
That's a really weird way of saying it, but you know what I mean. You can.
I'm rolling 2 dice +4, you're rolling 3 dice.
Sounds good. Getting you
12. Standoff.
Standoff. Okay.
Actually, I think you improved my roll.
I think it may have been a 5.
I didn't even see what it was. I never get a chance to focus.
We can watch that one back to say. check the recording. It was a 6 to 2, so I'm sure you guys will have seen that as well. So yeah, standoff there.
So now it's 3 dice, but plus 5 against 3 dice. Yeah. 11. 11 plus 4 is 15, and you also roll 15. Standoff.
So wow.
Rage is on.
Yep. Okay, so we're just trying to work out how best to display this. So I've got 7 guys against your 5. So 2 of your guys will get ganged up on in close combat is what we believe to happen. And so just to display that, I've taken 2 of my guys outside just to put them up against it so we can track it a bit easier. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll do the first 3 that are not doubled up on first.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get plus 2 calf because of tacticals, plus 1 for charging. What do you get?
Plus 0 for calf, but plus 2 for being in the building.
So I get plus 1 overall.
Plus 1 overall. This should be easier. Yes. You
kill one of yours.
Excellent.
Ooh,
I
you
got
get one of
you.
mine.
And
Standoff.
Standoff. No, because you're plus 1 overall. So,
of course.
Yep.
So
2 of
mine.
yours. So I'll take these 2 off, and 1 of yours just about in the middle. And then we've got the next one is going to be
secondary attackers.
Oh no, still normal ones. 7. Got
I
me.
edge it. Yeah.
Got me.
Okay, but now we do have
secondary attackers, and one of these is a commander. I'll save him till last.
Yeah.
So we're still at plus 1.
So 10 standoff. Because you get 10.
Oh, so it is.
I get plus 1, yeah.
Excellent. And then commander, so he's a plus 3, so I've got plus 2 overall to you here. Plus 3 dice. Okay, so at the end of that, I'm left with just 2 guys, a commander and 1 schlub, and Gordon's still got 3 of his stands. So I lost at combat 5 to 2.
Yeah.
So that means I need to make an immediate morale test using the commander's morale, which is a 2, I believe. We'll see. Yeah, it's fine. Right. So I rolled a 4. I need to roll another dice as well, isn't it? So pick the list. Fine. Easy. And then I need to do a withdrawal from combat, which involves, I think it's 1d6 plus your movement back the way. Yes. Number of inches plus d6. So 9.
Well,
they can't go off the board though.
Yeah.
So basically they will be going to the edge of the board here, straight back, and we'll lose that objective, and you'll be able to destroy that now. So yep, swung. It's definitely swung this way or your way. Okie dokie. Right, my Malkador. Probably should have read the rules on Demolisher a bit earlier, but yeah, it can damage this building, but these buildings have got 2 wins, so I don't really fancy my chances of bringing it down in 2 turns. So instead I'm just going to try and clear it out the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to fire my 4 lasgun shots into it. Let me just double check. I mean, there's only 3 lasgun shots, isn't it? Yes, 3 lasgun shots, sorry, and the Demolisher shot. So green dice will be hitting on 6s, the Demolisher will be hitting on 4s because it ignores cover. Just the Demolisher, so 1 guy minus 3 is basically an insta-death for one of your troops, but it's hardly the spectacle I was hoping for.
So I'm going to fire my Sicarans, which are going to lay into your
Malkador.
Malkador. So I get the Mega Plasma Ray, 1 dice, 4 plus to hit. It is accurate though, so if I miss I can re-roll. So
okay.
4.
Well, it goes to 5 plus because he's in the 4. So we forgot that earlier with the missile shots on these guys, but the 4 actually does give +1 cover, or -1 to hit modifier, sorry. So
5 or 6s. So
5 or 6s, but you'll also get an extra 1 target save modifier because you're hitting them in the rear. So if you do hit them, it'll be an extra.
-3 you'll be saving.
Right, so it'll be 6s then.
5 or 6s. 1 hit. I'll re-roll that because it's accurate.
Yep.
2 hits.
Okay.
2 6s -3.
2 6s. No,
Oh,
1.
okay, so
he's gone.
2 wounds.
Yep. Correct. Well done.
Dreadnoughts are going to fire the twin-linked las cannon and just try and pick off your last sentinel here.
Yeah, well, he's also the one that's got my secondary objective holding it, so you get a wee bit of, or you'll deny me extra points by killing him as well. Which is good.
He might be within 3, no?
No, I'm saying he's got this he's carrying the battle standard for mine.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, 2 dice, 4 or more to hit, and an accurate. So 1 hit, I'll try and reroll the other one. No improvement, so
okay.
1 hit.
Just a 5+ save, well 4+ normally up to 5 with a -1. No, he's gone.
Yes!
Flag carrier down, excellent. Okay, so as part of this scenario, Gordon's managed to get into my back line here and take this objective, which destroys it and immediately gains him 10 victory points. So yeah, at this stage I'm going to concede because all I have left is I've got my commander and flamer guy that have fallen back. Can't do much. These guys are locked in perpetual combat, but fighting over nothing really. Lasgun, Tertio are on advanced orders only for the rest of the game and can't damage these units, and also can't make it in 2 turns to the back objective there. And my Layman Russ are the same sort of boat really, they can't get far enough to claim anything. And yeah, you've got your backline objectives well and truly secured, you've got this one here, and you'd be able to get away from those guys in the next couple of turns and get to this backline objective, take it.
And as well as that, my second objective was about controlling quarters
That's
of the,
right,
the battlefield, so,
so already
the backline is pretty secure. I'd say that quarter's pretty secure.
I think so, yeah, no problem. Even if you move these guys off, I mean, I could maybe secure this quarter in terms of tactical strength, but it wouldn't matter.
And I would also probably next turn be making a beeline for the other deep objectives. So.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm well and truly beating my flag carriers down as well, so I don't even get my secondary objective. So victory points as it stands at the end of turn 3, what did we work out?
Yeah, you're on 34 and I'm on 49 points.
Yeah, cool. So that's pretty conclusive. For our first game, I think we did okay. Let us know if there's any major blunders.
I'm sure there
will be. But no, I think coming from 2nd edition and coming from the Epic, it's fairly familiar territory to us. Just a few subtle differences that we need to keep an eye out for. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed myself. I think it's a good. We were just saying this earlier off camera that the points value, although this is just a starter set. About 500, 600 points. It feels like a good game. I mean, this has been it's quicker than a normal net Epic games of maybe 3,000, 4,000 points, but not by much. I don't think either of us would want to, and much as we enjoy each other's company, I don't know if either of us would want to play a 3,000 point game of this or a 1,500 point game even. Yeah. Maybe it's because it's new to us, there's a lot more rule checking going on, but also it just feels a bit slower with the dice, with all the traits, I guess, for the weapons. The
traits and also the number of weapons that are on, because obviously in the Epic it's pretty much one weapon and you're using that.
Yeah.
And even those have enough special rules of their own as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So I suppose one thing which we've been kind of kicking around is an idea we might use Legion's Imperialis rules, because I really enjoyed the stuff about. I like the march order for a start,
that's great.
Which is really great, and it's great for moving your infantry up. I also like the rules about the garrison.
They made building rules a lot simpler to use, or not simpler, but a lot more streamlined. They've also made the objectives. For me, objectives has always been a sticky one. I've never been a fan of that. Chucking a rhino onto an objective at the end of the game.
Whereas I have.
Yeah, and if you're literally on the square of the objective, you get it, whereas the guy next to you doesn't. I like being in 3 inches of it, I like contesting it. I think there's a little bit of finickiness still to be done there, because obviously guard units get steadfast in line, which makes their tactical strength massive for claiming objectives, so there's a wee bit of stuff to work out there, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I like the tactical strength thing, I like the objective coherent or contesting aspect of it. I also like the scenarios. I mean, we've only played one. This is a fairly basic one, I think. But I like the fact that there's 6 or 10 scenarios to play slightly different objectives. Secondary objectives quite interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, it just mixes it up a little bit. We're so used to playing the 8 objective game of Epic. everything worth 5 VPs and then points for kills sort of thing as well. And we've been doing that for so long, it's quite nice to have a little bit of variety, I think. So yeah.
So shall we maybe do this one again?
Yeah.
I'll do another game of LI proper, I think.
Yeah, I've got some yeah, I've got some more stuff painted up, so we can maybe up it to like closer to 1,000 points with some knights and some extra tanks I've got sitting there, and yeah, maybe flip it as well, so I get a chance to win as well.
Yeah. No
Although this, like I say, this is the strange thing. I think everyone's been moaning about the Solar Auxilia being overpowered compared to the Marines, but I don't think we found that today really.
Certainly, I was surprised. I was lucky with that combat down in that building.
Lucky rolls for sure on and bad rolls on my part, of course, as usual. But yeah, I don't think there's as much of a discrepancy as kind of made out to be. But again, we'll know more as we play. Obviously, there's things like combined arms. We'll be looking at flyers and artillery and stuff like that, and that could really break things up. So we'll maybe just stick infantry and tanks for the next one again, and ease ourselves into the warm bath as it is.
Excellent. Great. Okay, so we'll have another game of Legioned Imperialis soon. If you're new to the channel, which you may be because you may not be aware of what we do, we've got loads of battle reports for the old 2nd edition Epic. Please check out the archive. There's playlists, there's a specific Epic playlist there. We've also got podcasts about that version of Epic if you're interested. Yeah, and the other thing just to flag up is check out Crown of Command as well. That's another good channel for 2nd edition Epic if you've not seen that. The latest one's quite sweary and funny, which is unusual for them. But yeah, if as I say, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking, comment, and most of all subscribing. And until next time, keep on living the life you die.